There is no way that this just happened, as Joey Votto, in the first pitch he's seen all spring training, in his first game, he hit a home run, and everyone is going crazy. And the question that is being posed now is, will he make the major league team? So I'm going to break that down in this episode of Jay's Digest, as well as Danny Jansen. We have a big injury update on his front, so you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned for that and much more coming up next. What's up, Jays fans? Nick Gosse here, host of Jay's Digest, and we have a lot to get into today. The Jays played two different spring training games. We had one side with Joey Votto, one side with George Springer and everyone else. It was a great day. There's a lot of positives to take away from it, and we also have an interesting injury update. But before we do, a quick reminder to hit that like button. Let's try to reach 300 likes for Joey Votto hitting a home run in his first Blue Jays at bat. And let's just get right into the first topic of today, which is, quite frankly, there is no way that this happened. Now, if you missed it, so a lot of stuff went on today. Obviously, Joey Votto was finally playing his first game, and his first televised game, that is. And then also on the other side, there was the regulars playing. And there's a ton of positives to take away. And before I get into the Joey Votto part, this Toronto Blue Jays offense, their approach looks completely revolutionized. It looks way better than it did at any point the past couple years. It looks unbelievable. Everyone is hitting the ball well. George Springer had an unbelievable game. And then on the other side, we had Joey Votto hit I'm not going to say moonshot because it wasn't, but he hit a home run in his first pitch and in his first at-bat on the first pitch that he's seen. So let's just show you the home run, and I did mute the audio this time for you guys, but it was one that the umpires didn't initially call a home run and then said they think it was a home run, and there's no review in spring training, so it looks like it was gone. It was ruled a home run, and this was in Joey Votto's first game in the first inning on the first pitch he saw. And that swing, not to mention, this is against Zach Wheeler, one of the best starting pitchers in the MLB. His swing looked unbelievable. He pulled it to basically dead center, a bit to the left of center, and that's huge for the Toronto Blue Jays. Joey Votto was a guy who still hit for power last year. He's had some great seasons. He is 39, I believe, years old now, but here's the thing. Joey Votto has a chance to make this team, and at the same time that Joey Votto came in, Daniel Vogelbach has started to cool off, and it's between those two guys, and Joey Votto looks very good. Now, he was removed after this game. He slipped on a bat in the dugout and rolled his ankle. They do have an off day tomorrow, the Blue Jays, it is, and he said he should be fine going forward, but what a day if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan to see Joey Votto. We've all been waiting, dreaming for this moment, depending on if you like Joey Votto. He finally got an at-bat in the Blue Jays uniform, which is great to see, and he hit it yard against one of the best starting pitchers in all of baseball. You could not have crafted a more perfect moment, and I truly think that Joey Votto is going to make the team as of this point. He's obviously a left-handed bat. He has the versatility to be able to play first base. He has great patience like Daniel Vogelbach does, but I just think that Joey Votto provides more veteran leadership. He provides more clubhouse presence, a lot of the more intangible things. He is a much better base runner, and obviously they both hit for power, but I think Joey Votto hits for better average and better, kind of has better patience at the plate, albeit Vogelbach is very good at that as well. And I don't know, I'd like to see Joey Votto be given a shot, especially because obviously Daniel Vogelbach kind of started off pretty hot in spring, got a couple home runs early, but has really been ice cold since Joey Votto has entered the mix. And I feel bad for Vogelbach if they end up picking Joey Votto, but as a Joey Votto fan myself, Canadian baseball, obviously, he said he was going to work for it and work towards it, and maybe he starts the season in AAA like he mentioned he might do. But, if he's turning on fastballs, or he didn't really turn on it, but if he is crushing fastballs from Zach Wheeler at 94 miles per hour like that in his first televised game, in his first game, it is going to be very big going forward. Now, let's discuss the other side of the, of the other field, which was Yariel Rodriguez's debut with the Blue Jays in spring training, and he looked very, very good. He did give up a home run, a solo shot, but other than that, looked very solid. If you actually watch the game, his location was great. His stuff has so much movement. He reached 97 miles per hour with his fastball, and we had George Springer, who had an absolute bomb of a home run. He now has 9 hits this spring, 5 of which has produced a 95 miles per hour exit velocity or more, which is huge. He's been pulling the ball. Like, when you're looking at everyone and you look at their OPSs, Springer OPS near 1,200. Bo Bichette's nearing 1,000. Vladdy got another 2 hits. Like, everyone is looking so good. Kiermaier hit a moonshot. His average hasn't been there, but he's been hitting some home runs. Like, even Biggio has had 1,000 OPS this spring. Obviously, it's a limited sample size, and it's spring training, so we don't want to put too much stock into it. But this has been a crazy... I do not think coming into spring training that you could have asked for a better outcome for the Toronto Blue Jays aside from the starting pitching health. Because obviously we're going to put the health aside in the starting pitching, specifically regarding Alek Manoah and definitely Kevin Gausman. The hitter's approach looks revolutionized. It looks completely different. They're pulling the ball, they're turning on it, and they look so good. And is this going to be the year is what we're all waiting for, where everything comes together, kind of like it almost did in 2021, but where George Springer's hitting the ball well. Vladdy, it's a fairly big sample size now. They played 3 games in a row, and everyone's just mashing the ball. Obviously, sometimes it's not against the best pitchers, but at this point, they look great, and it looks like more of an approach thing versus a playing against a weaker pitching opponent type of thing. Their approach looks very good, and I think that this thing is going to continue, and I truly believe that the hitting might not be as big of a deal as we may have thought it might be coming into the season, even though that 5-9 with Biggio, Connor Falefa, etc., Kiermaier is looking a little bit iffy. But I mean, even them, even Kevin Kiermaier, Kevin Biggio, Isaiah Connor Falefa, those 3 guys have been performing from the offensive end and defensive as well. Unbelievable in spring training. There's just no other way to put it. And I'm ecstatic right now because obviously, again, spring training. But when we're looking, that's all we can talk about right now because that's what's going on. And they look unbelievable. And the pitching, it looked okay as well. Nothing too crazy. Yariel looked good. Mitch White looked a bit iffy. And then Nate Pearson had a scoreless inning. There, and then Eric Pardinho is looking pretty solid too. But that'll wrap up this section. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Votto home run. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Blue Jays spring training games. They do have an off day tomorrow, and we're looking at all these starting lineups, and they've played 3 days in a row with the starting lineups for about 5 innings. They look unbelievable, and I'm not putting too much stock into spring training, but I think you can take individual cases out of it, and I see some very, very good things. Now, not speaking of good things as much, depending on how you go. We do have a Danny Jansen injury update, and obviously Danny Jansen's going to be one of the biggest storylines leading up to the March 28th opening day against the Tampa Bay Rays. We got some updates. So this was it started with John Schneider on Danny Jansen's hand and wrist a couple days ago. He said, we're looking at a couple weeks, but definitely dodged a bullet, and he has a follow-up appointment today to determine the initial timeline. They'll go from there, and that follow-up appointment happened, and he said, quote, what we expected after the doctor's visit will just depend on how Jano's feeling in the coming days or really in the next week, and to see if he can start doing some stuff after that. We're still looking at a couple of weeks. So the good news is that the doctor's visit didn't reveal anything more serious. They definitely dodged a bullet in the sense of, we've seen Danny Jansen miss months at times, but now he's not going to be missing months. He's only going to be missing a couple of weeks. He won't be ready for opening day. But we have Alejandro Kirk and we have Brian Serven, who's putting up an over 1,000 OPS in spring training. So we will be fine on that front. The big thing is that Danny Jansen is not going to miss a ton of time, which was, of course, the big thing coming into this kind of discussion. And coming into the season, really, has been Danny Jansen's health. He has been one of the best catchers in baseball when healthy. And, it looks like we dodged a bullet with him, that he is going to be good going forward. And again, Alejandro Kirk has been the guy who's going to have to step up, and he's been playing well in spring. And obviously, you do miss having that tandem of Jansen and Kirk, but when you can kind of have a guy like Kirk who would start on, realistically, we have 2 catchers who would start on almost every single team in the big league aside from a few. You're in very good hands, and that's why they ultimately did what they did way back when they dealt Gabriel Moreno, because they have so many good catchers. But that'll wrap it up. Just a quick update on Danny Jansen there. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below on all of this. The Joey Votto home run was great to see. Just the offense is looking good. A good day to be a Toronto Blue Jays fan. And opening day is just around the corner, and we'll continue to have you covered for daily news. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to check out our video from yesterday, click on your screen now. We'll see you tomorrow.